boys and girls. I have a question for you. How many of you have a best friend? I do. Yes. Why do you like hanging out with your friend? Maybe you have more than one, too. Yeah, so you can laugh with them, you can play with them, you do silly things together. Hopefully you don't get in trouble together. Good. So you have these great friends that maybe even sometimes you get to spend the night at their house. That's great, isn't it? Well, guess what? Jesus had some great friends too, some really what we call close friends, kind of like his buddies. And they were Mary and Martha and Lazarus. Now, they're a family, so they are two sisters and a brother, and they were special friends of Jesus, and they lived in a town called Bethany. So whenever Jesus would be coming through Bethany, he probably stopped and saw them. So when Jesus lived on earth, he did not have a home of his own. So he didn't have a house to go to every night. He would sometimes sleep under the stars. Now, that may sound fun to you, but I think it might get just a little bit chilly at night. So it was always nice when he could go somewhere and his friends would invite him to stay in his house. And that's how Mary and Martha and Lazarus got to know Jesus even more, was by inviting them to their house when he would come through Bethany. Now, Jesus would eat with them and talk with them, and they're boys and girls, and sometimes stay overnight in these different houses. Well, Mary and Martha and their brother Lazarus knew that Jesus was coming through to Bethany. And so his friends decided to have a dinner party for him. So a dinner party would be like when your grandma or grandpa, or both of them, or aunt or uncle are coming from another town, and you decide to invite, maybe you have an aunt or uncle that lives close to you, and you all get together at your house, and you have a special dinner with your visiting friends or relatives. And that's what was happening in the town of Bethany. So the party is actually going to be at a different man's house, Simon. So Simon is a man that Jesus had healed from leprosy a while ago. So they're all getting together to have this party for Jesus. So Simon, Mary, Martha, Lazarus, and Jesus' other friends, they worked very hard for Jesus' special party, and they wanted him to be their special guest. So when Jesus and his disciples got to Simon's house, Simon showed them where to sit. So Lazarus, he sat at the table with Jesus, and Mary, or Martha, actually helped serve the food. Now, Martha loves to serve people, which is a great thing. So if your drink was almost gone, no problem. Martha's got it. She's got the pitcher she's going to fill up. Is your meat almost gone, or your vegetables almost gone? She'll get you some more. Are you all done? She'll take your plate away. I mean, Martha, she is on top of things. She loves to serve other people. But we've talked about Lazarus and we've talked about Martha. But what about Mary? So, Mary is thinking, what can I do for Jesus? So as Lazarus is sitting at the feast with Jesus and had a wonderful time talking with them, Mary is thinking about how she can give something back to Jesus. And Mary thought, I must find a special way to show Jesus that I love him. What's the best that I can give to Jesus? So Mary found her beautiful alabaster jar of very precious and expensive perfume. It was so special. She made her way gently to where Jesus was sitting. She broke off the top of the jar and poured the expensive perfume on him. Now, she put some on his head and on his feet. We might think that's kind of strange, but that was the custom. That was the way they did things, kind of like we shake hands. But a little bit more important, when people would come into your house in Israel, it had been very dusty and dirty when they walked around. So when they came into your house, so as not to get dust and dirt everywhere, there'd be a servant there to clean the feet. And Mary was taking on the role of a servant, and she was cleaning Jesus' feet. So she was showing that she worshiped him. Something else about her perfume, you're probably thinking, why would they put perfume on Jesus, or cologne, or whatever you want to call it? Well, this was the most expensive thing that she had. It probably took Mary a whole year to save up her money and buy this jar of perfume. That's all that she had, and she wanted to give it all to Jesus, her very best. As soon as that bottle was broken, the wonderful smell filled the whole house. and people could smell it, and they were wondering what was going on. They knew, that smell. They knew the smell of that perfume, and they knew that it cost a lot of money. And do you know what? The disciples were actually upset with Mary, especially Judas. Now, do you remember Judas? Judas Iscariot? He's the one that betrayed Jesus when he was going to be taken and then crucified. And he said, what are you doing? Why did you do that? Why did you waste your perfume on Jesus? We could have sold that and given the money to the poor. Sounds like a good idea, but Judas's heart, he didn't really care about the poor. He just cared about the money. I'm sure, yes, he wouldn't have minded selling it, but he probably would have kept the money because we know that Judas loves money more than he loves Jesus. But Jesus understood that and knew that Mary, she was giving her very best. He knew what she had done, and he said, "Stop talking to Mary that way. Leave her alone. She's done a good thing to me. Poor people will always be on the earth. They will be here all the time, but I won't be here much longer." Jesus knew how much Mary loved him and how she could serve him and that how she could show that she loved him. And of course, he loved her very much too. So maybe there's something that you can give back, that you can give away or do that can show others that you love Jesus and that you love them. So maybe there's somebody who's very sad now because they can't get out or they can't have you come in as a visitor, like to the nursing home or to the hospital. I have a friend who's in the hospital right now, and guess what? She can't have any visitors. So how can I show her that I love her? Well, send her a card. Send a little video message, something like that to show that you love them and that Jesus loves both you and them, right?